Christ personally and he became a believer. But his father hated Christians. They are Chinese, family. So, as you know, during the certain date, they have ceremony to worship the ancestor. And that day, the father told him, okay, it's now your turn to worship our ancestor. And my friend said, sorry, Dad, I no longer can do that. Because now I believe in Jesus. And for me, only Jesus, only God, who I should worship. And his father was upset and he told him, choose your Jesus or me. And my friend told him, I choose both of you. I love Jesus and I love you too. But his father said, you only pick one, either Jesus or me. Well, because his father insisted him to choose between Jesus or him, he said, sorry, Dad, I have to obey Jesus. And his father slapped his face. Get out from this house. He's very rich. So suddenly he didn't know where he should go. But God didn't abandon him. Later he even could study in the United States without the support of his father. So this is an example, what the Bible says, children obey your parents in the Lord. Okay, honoring parents does not mean parents can make decisions for their future of their children, especially when their children grown up. Of course, when the children still little or small, it is parents' responsibility to teach them, to direct them, But when their children no longer little kids, and now they become young adult, parents cannot force their will to their children. Or you have to be like this, you have to be like that. As you know, Ivan just graduated from high school. Honestly, I'm telling you, personally, I want him to be a scientist. It is my dream that one of my children become scientist. But you know already what he chose. Instead of become scientist, he chose to be musician. I thought, music just, his hobby. Well, of course, I talked with him. I asked him several times, are you sure that is the vocation that you want to choose? And he said, yes. I have been praying about that, and I think that is my call. Well, I know he honored me. Right, Ivan? Where is Ivan? Oh, there, over there, yeah? But, I realized he is no longer a little boy. Eventually, it is his life, not mine. He has to make decision for himself. So what I can do, keep praying for him and give advice. So, honoring parents does not mean we let our parents to make decisions for our lives, especially when we grow up. Now, we learn what the Bible means with honoring parents. When we read Exodus 20, let's take a look. Exodus chapter 20 again, verse 12. If we read the first 4 commandments, those relate with who? With God, right? But starting from the 5th commandment, it relates to others. And it is interesting The first one relates to our parents. And more than that, there is promise here. Honor your father and your mother. And this is interesting actually, because back then, about 3,000 years ago, in general, the status of women or mother were considered lower than men. But in God's eyes, both men and women, both father and mother deserve for honor. So this is a new teaching among the culture back then. Honor not only your father, but also your mother. So the word honor in Hebrew is kabed. Kabed. This word has a wide-ranging form. So there is no one specific behavior is commanded here. That is why we need to learn more. What does kabed means? And it has many meanings. Kabed can mean respect, esteem, concern for, affection, love, consideration, appreciation, nurture, and also forgiveness. So when the Bible tells the children to honor their parents, that can be all of those meanings. So at least there are two meanings that we can learn here. The first one, children, no matter you are better in playing Wii than your parents, so you often beat your parents when you play Wii. Even though you know better about computer, better than your father, even though your English is better than your parents, like myself, it is not an excuse for you not to respect your parents. You should listen to your parents or your father. Even though you disagree with what he or she say to you. You need to listen. You need to understand why your parents say that to you. Don't talk back. Remember, your parents get authority from God to raise you, to train you, to teach you. And don't look down on them. Even though your father is not like Orlando Bloom or macho like James Bond. You need to respect them. Even though your father is not as rich as your father's friend. When you visit your friend, you see, wow, his father has a good job. And your father does not. Still, you need to respect and honor your father. Even though your parents sometimes make mistakes, sometimes disappoint you, sometimes even embarrassing you because of what he said or she said, still you need to respect them. And the second meaning of kabed here that we can learn is to love your parents. And we have to love them always. Especially when our parents no longer can work, when they are getting old. It is our responsibility to help them, to visit them, to take good care of them. So I'm proud of